Hey guys, I have soaked this brush for maybe 10 minutes. It sometimes gives me a little grief because I don't like as much backbone as this has. And so I mounted it, yanked it out of the handle. Fortunately, I used silicone and that's why. Put a spacer in there, maybe two, I can't remember. Put it back in so it's as high as it can kind of go, which gives it more room to kind of open up and stuff. Have less density that stays in the center. And again, I'm trying another method of just a long soak right before this shave, and hopefully that'll help. Because right now it's kind of going on a little too much backbone due to that density, and it's a finest knot, which is a two band, which does have more density than like silver tips like this guy. All right, we're going to be using a pole. Nope, used pole silver already. Astra platinum, and as you can see, this has got maybe 15 uses on it. So let's yank him out because we're going to put him in the wonderful razor I've been using lately, the WR2 from Wolfman. If you see these things on the side here, these vertical kind of fangs come down from the top cap, that's an easy way to tell that it's the W2. And so just carefully am I removing, and those four fangs do a great job of holding that blade exactly in the right spot. And then if you're holding it like this, like I do so often, right when it starts to touch the base plate, I take it off and I let it kind of come together so I don't get any pinching problems there. The soap we're going to use today is Klar Seifen, I guess. This is our Seifen. It might be how you pronounce it. It's from Germany. And this is their sport scent. And I like the classic that they have. I also ordered the sandalwood several months ago, and I got that. I believe I tried it and really enjoyed it. I know I did not put it in my pack to my box to sell. And then this is the sport off the dry puck here. It smells nice. Kind of maybe some aquatics there, maybe a little bit of floral, but some green type notes. One of those situations where a bunch of things are adding together to almost make something that smells different than any of the pieces, and where it's maybe a little hard to figure out what pieces are in there. And sometimes that's just a really good way to mix up a soap. And so I'm really happy with that. I like the smell. I'm sure it'll be just fine. I've been really happy with the performance. This is a truly hard soap, and so I am going to bloom it and soak it for a few minutes prior to the shave. For normal American type cropes and Italian softer soaps and cropes, you don't need to soak those. That's just kind of an idea that's been propagated by some different YouTube members, and but a lot of the makers have come out and said that it's really not a good idea to bloom your soap. Some people just do it for a few minutes while they take a shower, but even then, some of the makers say it's not advised. Now, Declaration Grooming said for the Icarus base that it was something cool to do, but in general, it can actually deteriorate and your soap at an advanced high level, and also just change the makeup of it to where you don't want it to be. I mean, it's going to function usually, but it might be a waste of soap, and it might also just not be as good as it could have been otherwise. All right, so the Astra Platinum is in the razor. Throw a little bit of water on my face. We're looking at about a 24-hour growth right now, as usual. As the nights turn colder around here, my sink water here is starting to feel that way. I can tell it. All right, so I'm going to pour out the soak water, and then I'll get rid of a lot of the water from the brush here. This one's a dense brush, a lot of fibers, and so it does hold a lot of water. Let's try a 40-second load this time. I tried 50-second one time and I got tons of lather. So now it comes in this little tin, and it's aluminum. And in one of my other scents, I carry it around with me in my suitcase kind of for a while, and it does dent pretty easily. And it's small, and so that makes it a good travel tin, but it's not sturdy per se. It could bend enough to where it might make it difficult to get on or off or something like that. All right, let's do a 40-second load, and we'll start at 25, so we'll stop at 05. And this will rotate, and so what I do, the soap puck will rotate inside the tin here, and so what I do is, since it's aluminum, I squeeze the tin, and that will keep the soap from moving around, because if the soap moves with the brush, then the brush isn't really picking up soap very well at all. So it is a hard soap, and so you can't spoon it into another container, but you can shred it and press those shreddings into another container. I like these little containers. I think they're cool. It is smaller than you expect when I got my first container of this in the mail, because it generally you're looking at about $30 for this little tin of soap, and that can be very discouraging when you don't know how big the tin is. Now it's nice and tall-ish for its size. Just rinsing the sides of the container off there. But here's the thing, just like so many hard soaps, it lasts. And so while a tub of Barrister and Mann or Holy Cow or Noble Otter or Declaration Grooming might be $20 or so, they're only going to last you maximum maybe 3 months or so, depending on your usage. Some people just 2 months, whereas this guy is going to last you a lot longer than that. And so if you do the math, per price per shave, how long this tub's going to last you, then I think you're going to see this kind of soap is inexpensive compared. All right, so that's a 40-second load. It's quite airy and bubbly looking. Let's just see how that took. Hard water here as usual. We're going to mix it around a little bit at first just to kind of see how it's going to behave. We'll see if I was able to load enough product. I did use a boar brush last time, and that sometimes can whip up more product than soft badgers, so we'll see. Nice scent coming up from the lather bowl here, so I like that. The strength there. Yeah, this isn't puffing up very much at all, with a whole teaspoon of water added. You know what? So you know what we're gonna do? Kind of remove some of the soap here, and let's load for a little bit longer. And let's just do 20 more seconds just for grins. We can figure out more details later. And the 0 is going to roll around right there. So we'll go to the 0 mark. Maybe it's overkill, maybe it's not. You can always dial it back next time. Again, rinse off the container. Hold it upside down for a second to kind of get the loose water out. Just what I do. Figure out what you like to do, your own preferences. All right. Another thing to change, sometimes with certain soaps you want to come at the soap a little wetter. Maybe I should have soaked it for longer. Sometimes that can help with load time. Definitely having more lather come up now, so that's good. It's almost like just a generic fresh cologne or deodorant. It's not sharp or tart. Doesn't seem to have too much citrus. Definitely some aquatics in there. A little powder maybe, I don't know. So if you like this soap a lot, you can pinch the can like I do. After you use it a few times, surely the kind of the wet soap debris and residue and stuff would maybe lock it in to keep it from spinning. There we go. We're starting to see some soap there. Let's add another half teaspoon. Not a lot of places carry this particular brand. eBay's got it. I have seen it a few times on the used forums and that sort of thing. But not too often. Small Flower is a really good American-based, North American-based seller that has a good number of products. If you watch me very much, you'll hear me talk about Maggard razors, and they are just tremendous. But they don't carry this particular one, and Small Flower does. It is a what was it? Something Merck Apothecary or something like that. I think in Chicago or some big city like that, there's a retail store, and doing all kinds of it's almost all kinds of these type items. Grooming, it might be a drugstore as well, but it seems like it's been there for a long time. Mercantile or something, but I think it's called smallflower.com is the name, and so if you go to that that's the name of the website, and so if you go there, you'll be able to get pointed to the actual physical location if you're in that area. But they're a good vendor, so I've just ordered from them once or twice. Let's feel the lather here. Oh, this is kind of thin. It looks good, but it's a little airy. So you know what we're going to do? Let's go back to the puck one more time. Okay. And then get my face wet. And then right from the puck, I'm going to start this just to kind of lay down a soap layer. And yeah, this is kind of, you can kind of see it pushing my cheek around when I switch directions. If you're able to, some people just apply their lather in painting motions like this. And I think a lot of times those are guys who have no goatee. I've got to do circles and, things like that. Yeah, nice scent. I'm really happy about the strength of the scent. There we go. I think we've got the better amount of lather on the face here. kind of feels a little dry right now, but I mixed it up very well. Meaning I might have just let it be get too thin. Want to see if it thickens up, we can just kind of go right back to the puck. Do a few rounds on that. Okay. Then work on the face and just watch what happens. We'll take a look and see if it starts to kind of get thick and creamy and all that. It's thickening up a little bit. Good news is all this time kind of dabbling with it and stuff has given the lather, even in its maybe less than perfect state, nice time to kind of work into my skin and hopefully to bond with that, you know, top layer, because we just wanted to protect it, want it to attach on nicely and give us some good protection. All right, so the 16th use of this Astra blade. I put in a Gillette Silver Blue the other day, and it had maybe 30 uses or 35 or something. And it did great. Ooh, very nice. Then, the other day I put in a Pole Silver, maybe yesterday, with half as many, 15 or 16 uses. And the Pole Silver did not do nearly as well as the Gillette Silver Blue. Well, this Astra Platinum is doing really well. A little bit, I have a little bit more feel in the blade than the Gillette Silver Blue, but it's very comfortable, very smooth cutting action, much better than the Pole Silver at a similar age. And you may find that's true for you, or you may not. Blades are just really subjective, and also it depends on the razor. It really does. A lot of variables at play with figuring out how blades work and which ones work for you. I'm enjoying this scent pretty well. I think there are some floral components to it, but they've added the aquatics and maybe some musk. I don't think so, but they've added some aquatics and other pieces to kind of help to bolster it up and kind of try to keep it masculine. Because of all the issues, I went ahead and went back on the puck for several seconds, and now we've got and then added just a few drops of water to the bowl, so got plenty of lather here. Second pass, I think. Yeah, this is much better. Nice glide on that first pass. So it looks like this soap is one that I need to mix a little thicker, a little drier than I usually do. It's just not going to be as elastic. That's all right. And if I use a bore, then maybe that 50-second load or, you know, something like that might be a good way to go. But if I'm using a Badger, I might try for something a little longer, just to make sure I get enough soap, since I've had to go back to the puck several times on this shave. cross grain now. Smooth and comfy for sure. Very nice combination of blade and razor, for my skin at least. Just a little bit of blade feel. Yep, nice glide here. Grip doesn't matter too much in the sense of where you grip it. As long as you just have in my opinion, have a gentle hold on it. Let it be able to move so that you're just lightly moving it across your skin. Keep it very light, like pressing in just enough to keep the blade consistently on the skin, but that's it. No more than that if you can. And sometimes I'll be rewarded with some extra special shaves when I've just managed to kind of be casual and light about it. Looks good. Rinse. Does this feel, water out there, like kind of a sporty scent? Maybe. But just kind of I mean, it's kind of nice. I think I'm cool with that. I might have tried a few more times. I don't guess I'd really call it too sporty. Maybe if it had a little higher aquatic content or some greenery. But I think maybe the florals that are in there are a little higher than I might like. And so that tends maybe to not let me think of this as a kind of a sport type genre. But it's true, the Europeans, I've seen soaps with that were scented by them, and they like those florals and that kind of stuff. But a lot of times if a European soap has sandalwood as the title, you may not be able to smell very much sandalwood in there. It's got perfumes and musks and florals and all this other kind of stuff in there that kind of dominates the scent. And I've experienced that on more than one occasion from a European maker, especially the UK makers. And so, oh man, it's almost like I'm not cutting anything. It's just gliding, shooting across my face. So I bet I could easily go to work with this setup after just 2 passes instead of having to go 3. And I've just seen that happen with this razor. Oh, nice. Sometimes this stroke is very dangerous for me. The hair direction is this way. Sometimes this has a little bit of an against the grain to it. And then more importantly, as I move up toward this area, I start to hit areas where the hair is turning, going different ways, and then it really has more. When I'm right here going up like this, it's cross grain, so there's usually not too much irritation, but then I get too far, and then bam, it starts to become against the grain, and I start to get some, bothersome feels right up there. But it was very smooth just now. Tremendous. That's a really good sign. So it looks like the Astra Platinum and the Wolfman WR2 are, at least for my skin, a very efficient combination. That may not work for you as well. It just depends on all those variables. Excellent. All right, final rinse. Well, the cut was terrific. Almost baby butt smooth, easily on my cheeks, and I just see tips. And I just see tips and nothing, no length on anything right here in my trouble spot. And so that's uncommon, and this goes up into that arena of top shaves ever for me, So Astra worked really well. today. So far, maybe the best blades for me have been the Gillette Silver Blue and Astra, and both of those had a good many uses on them. Obviously, I'm going to go through later on and try more fresh blades so we can offer perspective on those as well. But for right now, just kind of using up some of my inventory that I've had around that I'm kind of marathoning, that sort of thing. So showing you how much lather I have left over isn't really too helpful because we don't actually know how much loading I did since I had to go back to the puck several times. How does this lather feel? It's not a buttery slick feeling. This one's kind of a watery slickness. It looks nice, kind of some micro bubbles there. So I'll definitely look to mix it a little richer next time, see if I can improve the lather. But I had excellent slide and glide on my face, so it did its job. Even though it might not feel luxurious in my hands, it worked really well. And what matters is the shave, for the most part. So I believe I like this soap. I believe I like this scent. I probably like the classic a little better, and maybe the sandalwood too. These things do last forever, and there are lots of soaps out there that I enjoy. Soaps from Barrister and Mann, Stirling, Fine Accoutrements, Holy Cow, Noble Otter, Summer Break. Lots and lots of soaps out there, Dr. John's. And so that's what I have to compare this particular scent to. Would I want to use this soap and take up some of my time away from others that I enjoy? And that's a question mark right now. I'll figure it out some other time. We'll come back to it again later. Here is this guy after I stropped him on a towel. You can see he's not, the edges aren't opening up a lot. He's still kind of keeping his shape, and that's just what some of the finest badgers do that have a little bit more backbone. He's opening up a little bit. We'll see if we can open him up more. Next time I use him, I'm going to plan on a longer soak and see if that makes a difference. If it doesn't, then maybe this knot is just not for me. We'll see. It was inexpensive though, so I might keep it around. I might move it to a different handle. I really like this handle. Might move it to a handle I don't like quite as much, and keep it around and just watch it and use it every once in a while and see what happens to it. So, Astra Platinum, excellent blade for this razor, and I got to think that a fresher one would be even better, just slicing through hairs like butter. And so really happy on that front. Who knows how much soap I used because I had to keep going back, but it keeps things spicy. You never know exactly what's going to happen when you try new products. So I am a big fan of the Klar. And the other two scents I think I do like a little better. And this one's nice. If I had to shave with this soap forever, I wouldn't have a problem with it. It's enjoyable. So we will look out for the other scents. I can't remember if I've tried the sandalwood or not. Maybe I'll try the sandalwood another day. And like I said, this is a hard soap puck, and so if you want to be able to load it a little easier and probably quicker, you could put it into a larger tub by grating it with a cheese grater and pressing those shreds down into whatever size container you want to use, and no doubt it would be easier to load at that point. Wanted to show you the Astra blade. This is one I plan on marathoning. He's only got 16 uses now, but at first I started putting some dots on each one to see how many times I used it, but then I realized a blade is just going to fill up too easy, so we'll leave this as a 4 dot. And I started to put an X a while back when I started with my Nasset last year. Started to put an X on the marathon blades. These days I might start putting M's on there, but anyway, who knows how high I'll reach on this Astra. I believe they've been taken past 100 by some other folks, and so who knows, maybe I'll get there. But I wanted to just show you the makeup of it so that you would, if anybody doubts or whatever, they can always go back to this video and look and see and all that. So let's see, here's my dots. Got 15. I'll put another dot on there at the end of this shave, which is pretty much coming very shortly. Cleanup is good. and it was a great shave. Did have to work a lot on the soap, but it was had a good fairly good feel to it. The brush was a little subpar today, just its usual density. If you like a lot of density and kind of scrub, the tips are really soft, which is really weird. The first time I used it, the tips felt a lot softer than they do now. So I find that interesting. It's like every other shave, every other use other than that first one, it's just been a lot more firm. I don't know. And a little bit resistant to splay. It is work with this knot to be able to lather up in the splay. And we'll just see if that continues, then maybe I'll just kind of sit this guy on the back shelf and use other brushes for a while. All right, excellent shave. I feel good, smell good. Oh, let's see what kind of aftershave we have downstairs. So I looked at my drawer down there, and Whiskey Woods from Pinode Club Mann was there, and I like it. I like it a lot. It's just easy going. There is a smell to it, but I enjoy it. It stays kind of low key for most of the time, so it's not in your face, you know, and then it's done. Then I noticed, and I forgot that I had this. The Bull, Barrister and Mann Seville is this one. I didn't even remember that I had it. It's a barbershop scent from Barrister and Mann, and unlike the Club Mann, this one has nice, good skin food in addition to the alcohol. So good, healthy things, and I am pretty sure that this scent, all I'm smelling is the alcohol right now, but I'm pretty sure this scent's going to work really nicely with the Klar. Let's see here. Yeah, alcohol, a little bit of witch hazel, camellia something or other, calendula, so a few extra little healthy food for your skin. All right, well, there we go. Yeah, that works really nicely. Some of the citrus is jumping out right now. I think maybe some of the elements that are similar to the Klar might be masked a little bit because maybe my nose is used to it, and so I don't think the citrus has quite jumped out of the Seville as much as it is now, so that's neat. But I like it a lot. So that's a good match, at least in my opinion. You guys take care. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Hope there was something here for you in this video.